Balaja Akbai Waja Ichish. My name's Sunny Day Rilbert. I'm the Director of American Indian Outreach here at MSU Billings. About 2 summers ago, I was sitting in my office and my phone rang, and there was a lady on the other line, and she was calling from Evergreen University. She asked me one question that really kind of had me thinking, and I even went to bed thinking about it. And she asked me, what type of art is being lost? I went home that night and I called my grandma. I told her about the conversation. I was asking her what art was being lost, and she was telling me all kinds of stories about high top moccasins, and she was telling me about fans and the feather work and the time and details that goes into that, and how there's not a lot of people that know how to make feather fans and tie feathers. And so we did one class here on the MSU campus for the high top moccasins, and we incorporated stories. We talked about hunting, we talked about beading, we talked about stories from the late 1800s, and then we went on to Dull Knife College, and Warren Spang, he was teaching us how to do concho belts and the story behind concho belts. We worked with Kyle Old Elk, who taught how to tie feathers, and every workshop that we hosted, we'd send out the registration, and the longest it would stay open was about 2 hours, and it would fill up within between 45 minutes to 2 hours. And there was just people that were like tons of people on the wait list, people calling, and it was just amazing how much people really wanted to learn those types of art.
So when Sunny reached out, I was like, yes, this will be awesome. I love it. So let's do it. So my name is Brocade Stops Black Eagle, and I am the artist and designer of Brocade, and I love beading. Seeing my grandmother bead was really special to me because she was sitting there creating something. I thought it was so cool. So I'd sit by her and watch her and ask her, what size needles do you use? What beads are you using? What are you making? So just to see her sit there and create something and be able to just talk with her, it was a really special moment for me, and I always remember that. And then for my mother to provide the materials and to actually have that patience to sit down with me and show me how to bead is really special. And the times that I sat with her to create all these projects we did together, it's really special to me. And so for me to share with the community what I learned and to share that same experience that I had that they can share with their children, I think it's just something really special, and it'll be a great keepsake for the whole family.
Thank you. Hilake, now this is the way I make moccasins. This is how I make it. Somebody else might tell you, oh, that's not how you make it. So it's different for all of you, okay? So if you... I believe that somewhere along the way I picked it up that if you make yourself a new pair of moccasins, you've redeemed yourself. Every day we redeem ourselves as people or as a person. But if you want to walk a different path, you can make yourself a pair of moccasins and take a new step and go from there. My name is Birdie Realbird. I'm First Many Times. That's my crow name. And I'm Big Lodge and Child of Whistling Water. I'm 70 years old. I make dresses, moccasins. If you want me to make something that pertains to the crow outfit, I could make it. That's who I am. When I teach a class, I want to put in a little bit of therapy in there. I take pride in teaching the cultural outfits but I also want to put in a little bit of feeling good, and I think that's important. In life, I think there's all different ways to get to where we're going. There's so not one way. And so is this art that we're doing, moccasin making, dressmaking. There's all these different ways to get to that point where we want to put our moccasins on and it fits.
Gosh, it's a de-stressor for so many students. A lot of students come in and some of them have a lot of stress coming in through the door. And I learned from one of the artists, Kyle Oldeld, he was like, leave your stress at the door, and you're coming in with good thoughts and you're thinking good things, and whoever you're making the item for, you want to pray that they have good future and a good blessing, and you're thinking good thoughts, and leave the bad energy at the door. And it really helps with your mindset, and that's what our students need to hear. And after reading the evaluations, I never realized how much it impacted the mental health of those students, and how just carrying on those certain stories to our younger generation is so valuable.
I feel that to share with the community, especially with me, I had a really hard time there about 5 years ago. I lost my mother and my sister within a 6-month frame, and the only thing that helped me get through my grief was beading. And so for me, I wanted to share that with other people, because I think, oh gosh, life is so hard, it's so stressful. And to be able to share something with an Indigenous person to help them to feel better, and to say, hey, look I made this, and I get to share this with my family, and I get to pray it or have my child in it. I just wanted to uplift our community and keep our traditions going, and just have them be more happy and more proud, and to be able to carry on that tradition that, me and my mother had to go out and find, and then to share it with people. It's just, I feel like it's just something my mom would love to do, and I think she'd be really proud of me right now. So
during our final showcase, we talked about the whole overview of our workshops from last year and the success and the partnerships that we made. And one that stood out was, we're breaking barriers in higher education, and carrying on that art is so vital. And someone else said that they really never seen that type of artwork here on this campus. And I think if we can continue doing this, and we'll be all right for the next generation. I really want these classes to be embedded into our budget. We're allotted a certain amount each year, and that these classes are still on the campus and they're accounted for as credits, and we don't have to worry about where our funding is coming from, and that it's being taught here on campus and having the art being shown. I hope that happens someday. We don't want to lose these traditions, and we want to make sure that it's continued and shared amongst our people.